Understanding what makes a Sigma male tick is like unlocking a mystery most people don't even realize exists. He's intense, fiercely independent, and refuses to conform to anyone's expectations. While he's mostly uncheckable, certain words and assumptions can push his buttons in ways few can imagine. Though he's not quick to show it, there are things you can say that will make him go stone cold or, worse, shut you out entirely. Forget cliches or pop psychology. This isn't about what's typical. The Sigma male's triggers come from a deep sense of identity, purpose, and an unbreakable commitment to his own standards. He's not seeking validation or applause, nor does he have time for shallow flattery or mind games. If you're curious or brave enough to learn what truly irks a Sigma male, buckle up. Here's what never to say if you want to stay on his good side, and why each point hits so hard. Number 13. Suggesting he's missing out on life. Telling a Sigma male that he's missing out on life is a surefire way to irritate him, even if he doesn't show it. He lives by his own standards, charting a course that doesn't require anyone else's approval or applause. For him, living doesn't mean following trends, attending social events, or engaging in superficial interactions. He values depth, authenticity, and purpose, and if something doesn't meet those criteria, he won't waste his time on it. When someone suggests that he's missing out, it's not just annoying, it reveals a complete disconnect from his values. People often assume that life should be packed with experiences for the sake of it, but for a Sigma, doing things just to say he did them is pointless. His world is full of things that genuinely matter to him, whether that's pursuing his goals, nurturing his interests, or spending time in solitude. Suggesting that he's missing out overlooks all that and reduces life to a checklist of experiences. He doesn't need to feel fulfilled by fitting into others' definitions of living. This comment not only underestimates his choices but also implies that he's clueless about what he wants. In reality, he's deeply aware of what brings him peace and meaning. To him, fulfillment isn't about fitting in or checking boxes, it's about living with intention. Telling him he's missing out only highlights how differently he sees the world and why he's perfectly content with that. Number 12. Why don't you care more about what people think? Telling a Sigma male that he should care more about what people think is like telling him to erase a core part of who he is. He values independence, not because it's trendy, but because it's the most authentic way for him to live. He doesn't wake up thinking about how to win others over, nor does he measure his worth by how well he fits in. When someone suggests that he should care more about others' opinions, it doesn't just annoy him, it undermines the self-reliance he has carefully built over the years. To a Sigma, the herd mentality is exactly what he avoids. He's not interested in adapting his personality or values to be more palatable or popular. Most people follow trends, absorb others' opinions, and worrying endlessly about fitting in, but he knows that worrying about everyone else's views is a fast track to losing himself. He has chosen a path that might look unconventional, but to him, it's the only way to live genuinely. By not caring about what others think, he frees himself from the pressure to conform, allowing his decisions to reflect his true beliefs, not someone else's expectations. Suggesting that he should be more concerned with others' opinions is insulting because it implies he's missed some secret to happiness. The truth is, he's already found it. Happiness comes from living by his own standards, not by seeking the approval of people who don't understand him. Number 11. Accusing him of being too ambitious. Calling a Sigma male too ambitious is a quick way to lose his respect. His drive doesn't come from a need for status or validation. It comes from a genuine commitment to his goals. When he sets his mind on something, he pursues it with intense focus and a standard of excellence that he holds himself to. For a Sigma, ambition isn't a passing phase or something he does to look impressive. It's a core part of who he is. Telling him he's too ambitious is like suggesting he's trying too hard to be himself. It's not just off base, it's insulting. Sigma males see their aspirations as a non-negotiable part of their life's purpose. If he's going after something, it's because it means something real to him, and he's calculated the risk, weighed the reward, and decided it's worth his time. Telling him to tone it down or be more realistic is a foreign concept. His goals aren't up for discussion. People who throw around the term too ambitious usually don't understand what drives him. They see ambition as a ladder, but he sees it as an unbreakable commitment to himself. If anything, he finds the suggestion laughable because he knows exactly what he's capable of, and he's not interested in limiting that to fit anyone else's comfort level. For a Sigma, ambition is about alignment with his values, and he won't apologize for it. Number 10. You're too much in your head. Telling a Sigma male that he's too much in his head isn't just off-putting. It's a complete dismissal of his greatest strength. His mind is his refuge, a place where he sorts through his thoughts, evaluates ideas, and builds his own understanding of the world. This mental space is where he finds clarity, solves problems, and sharpens his sense of self. So, when someone suggests that he's too much in his head, they're undermining the very part of him that he values most. For a Sigma, his introspective nature isn't a flaw, it's a skill he has honed over time. While others might rely on constant distractions or external input, he relies on his own mind for insight and guidance. His internal world is vast and complex, a place of deep thought and self-discovery. By implying that he should snap out of it or spend less time thinking, others show a shallow understanding of what makes him who he is. They see his reflective nature as overthinking, when in reality, it's his way of navigating life with purpose and integrity. A comment like this won't sit well with him because it shows a lack of respect for his way of being. To him, being in his head isn't a trap, it's freedom. It's his source of strength, creativity, and resilience. Suggesting that his mental depth is a problem isn't just misguided, it's insulting, and he won't forget it easily. Number 9. Saying he needs to be more social. Telling a Sigma male that he should be more social implies that his preference for solitude or selective social interactions is a flaw that needs fixing. This statement assumes that everyone should find fulfillment in constant socializing or that being an introvert is somehow less valuable. For a Sigma, socializing is a choice, not a necessity. He values his time and only invests it in people and situations that truly matter to him. When someone suggests he should be more social, it feels like an imposition on his freedom and his right to prioritize meaningful connections over superficial ones. Unlike those who seek validation or energy from large groups, the Sigma male is perfectly content with his own company or a close-knit circle of trusted individuals. He doesn't need to be the life of the party, nor does he need the buzz of a crowded room to feel alive. His social interactions are intentional, not obligatory. Suggesting that he needs to be more social comes across as an attempt to push him into a mold that doesn't fit him. To him, it's not about quantity but quality. If a conversation or gathering lacks substance, he'd rather not waste his time. Number 8. Calling him cold or unemotional. Labeling a Sigma male as cold or unemotional because he doesn't show his feelings in conventional ways is a misunderstanding of how he operates. He values control over his emotions, preferring to keep them in check rather than letting them dictate his actions. This doesn't mean he lacks emotions. In fact, his feelings run deep, but he expresses them on his own terms. Accusing him of being cold dismisses the depth and intensity of his inner world. It also implies that wearing one's emotions on the sleeve is the only way to be authentic. The Sigma's restraint is not a weakness. It's a choice made to protect his peace and maintain focus. He's not quick to react because he prefers to process situations internally, where he can analyze and understand them better. For him, emotions are personal, not public, and he chooses to reveal them only to those who've earned his trust. Being labeled as unemotional is not only inaccurate but also a shallow judgment of his character. If anything, he finds such comments to be a sign that the other person doesn't really know him. Number 7. Assuming he's afraid of commitment. A Sigma male's cautious approach to relationships isn't fear but a commitment to high standards. He values quality and authenticity, not settling for anything less. Suggesting he's afraid of commitment overlooks his intentionality and deep understanding of what he wants in a partner. Number 6. You're wasting your potential. He defines success on his own terms, not society's. Telling him he's wasting his potential implies he's not meeting conventional expectations, which he never aimed to satisfy. His goals may be unconventional, but they are deeply aligned with his values. Number 5. Mocking his principles as unrealistic. His principles are deeply rooted and non-negotiable. Ridiculing them as unrealistic dismisses the strength it takes to live by his values in a world that often promotes compromise. For him, authenticity is more important than fitting in. Number 4. Telling him to lighten up. He values depth and purpose over superficial fun. Telling him to lighten up undermines his approach to life and suggests that his focus on meaningful experiences is excessive. While he enjoys humor, he won't compromise his principles just to fit in. Number 3. Accusing him of being selfish. He prioritizes his well-being and boundaries, which some misinterpret as selfishness. For a Sigma, setting boundaries is essential for personal growth and maintaining his identity, not a lack of empathy or kindness. Number 2. You need to learn to fit in. He consciously chooses to be different and values independence over conformity. Telling him to fit in implies he should dilute his identity to meet others' expectations, which goes against his commitment to authenticity. Number 1. Dismissing his intuition as overthinking. His intuition is a well-developed skill, not mere overthinking. When someone dismisses it, they overlook the careful consideration he gives to his decisions. He trusts his instincts because they guide him effectively through life's complexities. If you found these insights helpful, feel free to leave a comment. If you're unsure about what to say, simply write "done" to let us know you watched until the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we invite you to subscribe now and become part of our channel. Thank you for your attention. Until next time.